Okay. Uh, let's look at a question type here. You are given straight lines, graphs, functions. Straight. This thing is straight. It's straight. Like, doesn't require you to go sideways. It's straight. You're given a point here. This point, this is the value of y. You know the value of x is here. So the whole point of 0 is to 6. Then you have this one here on the x-axis. So the x-axis, the x value is -1, the y value is 0. Then here, the x value is 0, the y value is -2. Straightforward. The first question is determine the equation of straight line f. F. So you have f here, right? So with f, to get the equation, to get any equation, this is what you use. Let me show you some, right? For straight line, straight line, spelled it correctly. For a straight line, to sketch, ah la la, sketch, yes, to sketch, you need two things. Number one, you need the gradients. And then the second one, you need at least a point. Oh, you need two things, 2 points. Because from 2 points, you can calculate the gradient because of with the gradients, right? Your equation is y is equal to mx plus c, right? This is the gradient. This is the gradient. M is the gradient, right? That's the gradient. Then C is what? The y-intercept. That's what you need also. So with 2 points, I can get the gradient, and then I can use, this is what you use. Use this thing. You use this thing. Y minus y1 equal to mx plus c. This is what you use to determine the equation. To determine equation, right? So these y1 and okay, sorry, why did I say x there? There's an error here. Let me just fix it quickly. So you have m, then it's x minus x1. Yes, yes. So the x1 and the y1 are a point. So x1, then y1. That's a point, right? This point. Then you have the gradient. So you use this to determine. So going to our equation, we are given 2 points. As you can see here, you're given 2 points. You have 0 is to 6, and then -1 is to 0. So we'll start with what? The gradient. y1 minus y2, and x1 minus x2. Now, y1. This is what we're going to do. To simplify things for myself, I'll say this is x1, this is y. I'll say that this is x2, this is y2. Now, so my y1, that's 0, minus my y2, it's 6. Then I have my x1, which is -1, minus y2, x2, which is 0. So I'm going to have -6 over -1, which gives me +6. That's m, right? Please, you see how I read this? Do not confuse things. These are the misconceptions you do. You say m equal to y1 minus y2, and then you say x2 minus x1. No. This is incorrect. Don't avoid these errors here, please. Then we get to use that equation. Going to say y minus y1 equal to m x minus x1, right? So y minus equal to y1, which is 0, and I just calculated m at 6. 6, and then x minus, what is x1? Minus 1, right? So I continue here. I have enough space. So I'm going to have y equal to, this multiplies this thing here. It's 6x. The negative times the negative, it's going to be a positive 1. So it gives you a positive 6. There's your equation. And then the second question is to calculate, oh, she actually writes it down. The equation of G. G is a straight line. The value of y is -2. So y is going to be equal to -2. That's the equation. It's not going to change. X can be 100, X can be 2, can be something, but the value of y is always going to be -2. It's like if I do something like this, and then I say this is H, right? So this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This can be 5. If I want this equation, I'm going to say X is equal to 5. That's the equation. Let's say I have another line here. 1, 2, 3. Here's 3. If I want the equation of this line here, let's say it's K. If I want the equation of K, y is going to be equal to 3 because of it's going straight there, right? It's not diagonal. It's horizontal or vertical. Just know it's a constant. It's constant. It's not going to change. Good. And then now, let us look at the next question. You are given, I think this is, that's a handling. The following are the marks obtained by a group of learners in a test out of 60. Test out of 60. Learners wrote test out of 60. No tutor. 55. This was close. Lowest is damn. Imagine hitting 12. But that's the beginning. Don't care what you should. It's the beginning. It means that you will increase practice. Nothing else but practice. Now, the stem is going to be the tens, right? Because you're dealing with tens and units here. So the stems are going to be the tens, right? You have 1, you have 20, you have 30, you have 40, and 50. Yes. So in the tens, you only have 12, right? And then let's see what. Okay, so for 20, you have 1, 21, you have 23. Then let's go to 30, you have 35. Let's go to 40, you have 52. 50, you have 54, you have 57. 7, and then you have 55. Okay, so these are not into order, right? But not into order. So the first thing, I think this will be easier for you. The first thing you should do is actually arrange them into order. That's the number one. That's the first. My assumption was they were in order. They are not in order. That's number one. Is the first one. Mr. Max. Check out Mr. Max at BTS. His live today. Tonight, actually. Tell you the first thing, do not assume. Do not assume. So 12 is the first one. Okay. 12. Then 21, 23, then I have 21. Okay. Then I have 23. Then I have 31. 31. Has to be in a single one. Then 45. Then 35 again. Then 37. then 42, and then 43, and then 46, and then 54, and then 55, and 57. There we go. Now I can start plotting them on the leaves. You know, like it's like, okay, it's a pun acting like stands, like you always want to leave. But so you have 2 for 12, then 22, you have 21, 21. Okay, that one looks off. You have 21, you have 23. Then for 30, you have 31, it's 5, it's 5, it's 7. Then for 40, you have 32, you have 43, and 36. 50, you have 4, you have 5, you have 7. Yeah, now everything is inside. What is the range? The range, to calculate the range equals the minimum minus minimal value minus the maximum. Oh, wait. It's the max minus the minimum. What's the maximum value? 57. The minimum value is 12. So I'm going to say 57 minus 12. So I have answer. It's going to be 45. How many learners obtain more than 50%? More than 50. Let's see. More than 50. Only 3. The rest, percent. Remember, not the actual number. So if it's the percentage, right? So I know out of 60, half of 60 is what? It's 30. So I'm gonna look at learners that have gotten a mark above 30, right? So above 30, here they are, more than 50. So 1, 2, 3. I ignore this here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have 10 learners that got in above 50%. And then now we move to a different sort of probability. You have a bag containing 3 green, 5 red, and 7 blue buttons. A button is randomly taken out of the bag. 3, 8, and then 15. So you have 15 buttons in total inside the bag. They each have different colors, right? So if one is randomly taken out, right, the probability of me taking out a red button, probability of red, it's going to be equal to the number of the red all over the total sample. I know the sample is what? 15. How many are red? 5. That's my answer. Green or blue? Probability of green or blue. It's going to be how many greens? Out of 15, there are 3. How many blues out of 15? There are 7. So it's going to be equal to 10 over 15. Getting a yellow. My sister, my brother, there's no yellow here. There's no yellow. There's no yellow. There's no chance of getting that thing. There's no yellow.